Thank you all so much for stopping by today. So y'all, I was in the groove of a little winter cleanup here, but what I do want to share with y'all is a plant. We've had lows 25, 26, 27, like consistently. It's starting to warm back up, but it's going to drop. And I know I know it's about to be January, so I have to say, hey, we're still in winter. A lot of these plants are not going to survive, but I want to share with you all a plant. When it got down to 25, I really thought that these plants were not going to make it, and they are surviving, and they're surviving strong. And I'll go into a little bit more detail in a second. But what I do want to share with you all is what I have done for my winter cleanup, what I'm about to do, and then what are my plans to do. So I've done a little bit now, but let me go ahead and show you what I've been doing, and then we'll look at the plant that survived the 25-degree low. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to try to link the video, but if you can remember, we planted this garden bed up with strawberries, with Egyptian walking onions, and then I had a couple other parsley plants that I started from seed. I had them left over from a project, so I popped them in by the strawberries, and then I've been leafing off the kale. Now what I did today with this particular bed is the cold seriously took out the longer stems of the speedwell. This is Veronica speedwell, but this is a perennial, and so the leaves will start, or the new growth will start coming up from the base of the plant. So I still got a little bit more touching up to do, and they were way taller, y'all. I'll try to link that video, but I just kind of cut them back. I still got to come in, but they were looking like this. It's not a pretty sight in the winter garden. Another thing that I'm going to also do is I am going to go ahead and kind of cut this sage back a little bit, because you see how the new growth is coming in from the bottom. So normally I'll wait closer to spring, y'all, but I know that spring for me next season is really going to be exciting. And so I want to just, on the things that I can, I want to go ahead and get a head start on it so that we are ready. So there were six speedwells in here, and we cut them all back. Now I took them off before I could show y'all, but I will go to this bed over here because some of these collards took a little frost damage, and so some of the leaves were yellow and white. Here's an example, kind of. I forgot this one. So we had some collards, and we also had some cabbage that took, you know, a little bit of frost damage. So I'm just now going around removing all of the outer leaves. I've cut this plant back to, y'all, which one this is. This is the one that the bees really liked. It was a type of salvia. I cannot remember the name, but it was by Monrovia. Now what I do want to tell you is I'm going to pull up all of this lettuce. I have a couple more lettuces that I am going to pop in here, but here's the thing. So this type of lettuce, I am going to journal this as well, for the simple fact that when it got to, just say, upper 60s, like, they started to bolt and go to seed. But then when we got down in the 20s, they took a lot of frost damage. So it really, for this type of romaine lettuce, it really has to be like a sweet spot to where they will grow. And I'll show you some more damage in a minute, but I was really surprised when we got in the upper 50s how they started to go to seed like that. So that's one thing that I will remember going into the spring and the summer season. Like, I'll have to really start them early, but I know that they can't take like 25-degree weather frost. So we'll keep that in mind. I have also been cleaning some of the celery leaves as well. Had a little frost damage, had a little yellowing, and so I cleaned most of those up. So I've been doing the same for these beds as well, just cutting back some of the old brown growth. And then as you can see, this took a little frost damage as well, these two lettuces, but I think these are going to bounce back. I really do. And this, what, let me tell y'all this. Okay, so the first time it got cold, I came out and I covered everything up. Now this time I was like, I really just want to see what's going to make it and what's not. So y'all, I didn't cover it up the second time. Now, just like the lettuce, I noticed that the cilantro, when we also got in like the 50s, lower 60s, this is a sign that it was trying to go to flower when it starts to. So you see how normal cilantro leaves look. When they start trying to go to flower, they'll send up a stalk, and then the leaves will start getting a little bit smaller. So that's another one that when we grow in the spring, we really have to have that perfect window for it, because cilantro is a cool weather plant. Now it did, for the most part, you know, a couple little frost damage, but for the most part it made it through like a champ. But when it heats up, they do bolt, they will go to seed. So you can use that to your advantage to save seeds, or you can use it to also feed the pollinators, because they have some really beautiful white flowers on there that they absolutely love. Same thing over here. I'm just cleaning the outer edges of the cabbage. This is the cabbage, and we also need to feed again. It's time to feed again, y'all. And then these shallots and everything, they're just kind of laying dormant, growing very slowly, and then they will come back up when it starts to heat up. And then I also cleaned up our parsley. I've been harvesting some, drying some, and so we cleaned up these parsleys because it was a lot of yellowing leaves as well. Okay, so I wanted to show you really quick. Here's another example of the lettuce. This one seems to be okay right here, but as you can see, some of them took some damage. But as you can also see, some of them, when they send that long stalk up, like they're trying to go to seed as well. And then this one was actually trying to go to seed too. So again, I'm just going to have to grow them in that perfect window where it doesn't get too hot to where they want to bolt, or can't be too cold because they will have frost damage. But another option that I may try as well is we can put like a shade cloth on it, like in early spring. If I see where they're trying to bolt, we'll try to see if a shade cloth will help. But the kale and the collards, y'all, they made it through like true champions that they are. If you remember from one of the videos, I told y'all this straw is a love-hate relationship. And so what I was out here doing before I turned the camera on is cleaning this straw out. I just do not like the way it looks. It looks so messy to me, but it is tedious. Like, I try to come in, pull them up as much as I can from the root, and then like pat the straw back down. But I just don't like, because it will get thick, and I do not like that. So that is what I was out here doing in these two beds. Still something to consider, because you never know how the batch is going to be. You don't know if you're going to get a good batch or a bad batch. And so that's just part of the risk when it comes to using this. So we're going to pick this, and then now I want to show you exactly what we're going to do, and then I want to show you the plant that really survived. Okay, so I am going to come in, do some deadheading, but I absolutely love these flowers, and I love the color. I don't know if y'all can see that. And here's the thing, they're doing great right here. And I'm going to walk over here. Remember, we did this edible container because these flowers are edible. And look how amazing and beautiful these are growing. So we're going to do some deadheading right here. This is the parsley that we started from seed as well. I'm going to do some deadheading of the snapdragons. But y'all, this is the crazy thing. This same container, and that's the thing with gardening to me. If you plant two of you know, the like containers to make a mirror. Some of them grow good, some of them don't. Now it did look like this got a little pest damage. Also, when I look at the redness or bluish tip on these leaves, now this may have been from frost damage, but I do have one where I think it is a, I want to say phosphorus deficient. When I look at the different leaves, but I'll go back to like my reference books and see. But I just wanted to show you between these two containers that we did, and we planted them at the same time, and just look at the progress of each one. That's so amazing to me. And then this one, lots of frost damage. This is crazy. It's really crazy, but you have to factor in like the direction of the wind, just so many things. Now this one may not be doing as well because we have this tree right here that could be blocking some of the light, versus this one is a little bit more further over. But that is just, it's amazing. But these are just so beautiful. Okay, so let me show you really quick what I'm going to work on. These are phlox by Proven Winners, and I absolutely love them. But to keep them looking fresh when they come up in the spring, I tried to wait because they were still getting little pink blooms on here. I'm telling y'all, we have been up and down in temperature. But if you look down here, do you see how they're making new leaf, new growth? So I'm going to just go ahead, cut all of this down, cut it back so that in the spring it could really flourish. So beautiful. So we're going to do that to these 4 because all of them have new growth coming from the bottom. And then I have one more that I still don't know. It's still over on the plant stand. I don't know what I'm going to do with. And then also we got a little weeding that we have to do. Do y'all remember the plants that I put up? So next spring, I'm really going to have to get heavy on the BT, the budworms. I can't catch them, but as you can see, they have really been having a field day on these violas. One, they pretty much just ate down. This is where it was. They ate down. This is no longer. And so these are the things that happen, and you just have to adjust. But like I said, everything is growing at a slow rate because we are in winter. But I do love the colors of these dusty millers right here. It is just a very beautiful contrast right here. And I went ahead and cut back some of our snapdragons right here. They're different color blooms, some light, some dark pink. So we're gonna get that done. And I cannot believe, oh y'all, what bulbs were these? They're waking up. And see, and that's because, so I planted some bulbs along here. And I'm glad I'm making this video because when I come through and weed, like we have wild onions here, but this is a bulb. I know we planted some tulips, but we didn't plant tulips here. I want to say these are alliums, but we'll see. We'll see as they come up, because as I'm looking over here, I put some right here too. So a lot of things are trying to wake up, but then it gets cold. I guess they try to go back to sleep. But what we're going to do now is we got to do another edge. We got to edge this up real good. And make it look neat. We got some dandelion that is growing right here. This is, for me, y'all, free medicine. This is like free medicine right here. But so that's what we're going to do. And then I've also just cut back some more plants. But let me show y'all the plant that I really thought would be taken out by this 25-degree weather. And here it is, like the true champion that it is. Okay, so let's walk over here, y'all. So if you remember, I got these petunias. And these petunias were for like a fall color. I mean, they're not really making blooms, but one was like a burgundy. So it's like 3 plants in here. One was like a burgundy, one is like a golden yellow, and then like orange. It was very fall-like. But y'all, 25, I thought that these would be gone in the past when I've grown petunias. So y'all let me know in the comments. In the past when I've grown petunias, When it gets real cold, they check out. So it could be the actual variety or the hybrid form of these petunias where they can withstand, and I'm talking y'all 25 degree. A lot of the plants checked out, and I knew that was going to happen because some of them don't tolerate frost. But to have this petunia still like no damage on here, still looking like if it warms up just a little bit, they're ready on standby to make new blooms. But here's the thing, let's walk right here, because here's the thing, this one, it struggled from the beginning. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, from the very beginning. It had bud worms, and then I need to cut it back, but we're gonna probably fill it with something different for spring. And it actually took a little bit of frost damage. This is what I've known it to do. And these are the same varieties, but this one, I will say this one struggled. This one struggled from the beginning, but still to have them still alive like that is amazing. It's amazing to me. So there you have it. The petunia survived the 25 degree temperature. Really, this one struggled. We won't count this one, but the fact that this one did is just, it's crazy. It is crazy, and I love it. So this is also what helps me determine from year to year what I want to add in my garden based on the tolerance of the plants with the weather. So this will be on the to grow again list. Okay, y'all, so I just again wanted to take you just kind of through what we're doing as far as winter garden checklist. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to get these things done. I've also been starting seeds. Make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'll be sharing that with you, everything that we started. It's going to be great. Spring is going to be here before you know it. So if you haven't started garden planning, go ahead. Now is the time to do it. It's a great time while it's still cool to go ahead, figure out what you're going to plant and make plans on what you need to do to make that happen. So as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you share this video with your family and your friends. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, tap the subscribe button. Make sure you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching. And until the next video, bye-bye.